Hello everybody and welcome back to Aurora 4X. I of course am Sir Beardian, and today we are going to be planning on what we are going to do about this alien population that we have discovered in the system of Perth. Now, first things first, we'll just go over, now that we actually have a contact, I can go over the sensors panel. So as you can see, passive sensor range is does determine how far you can detect a signal of a defined strength. So you can see that at a signal strength of about 70,000 and a bit, the range lines up right about there. And this one here is how far they can see you. So you can see that with a sensor of 1000, they would need to be this far away or closer to be able to actually spot us. Now, it is entirely possible for a planet to get some ridiculously strong tracking strength. So at level 2, we have a strength of 500, so we'd only take 2 deep space tracking stations to detect this ship from this far away. But you can see that you would need a very, very powerful sensor to be able to detect our surveyor from this far away. And that is almost entirely because if we go have a look at the book, the thermal signature is only 270. So that's not a very powerful signature at all. Let's get a little bit closer. We'll see how we go. Now, they have an EM signature of 70,000. We have an EM signature of 85. So that means that they most likely have a smaller population than we do. Means that they're also very likely to be behind us, at least in industry, if not in economy. There is, of course, a concern that we might not have as much duranium as we would like. How much duranium do we have coming in? Well, we've got a trickle from JG81, which is almost done. Coma Solar is shipping us about 2,000 a year. That's fine. Mercury is, well, will be shipping us some duranium. Might be worthwhile setting up that production pretty soon. How are we doing? 357.28. We're down to 13 colony cost. Might be worthwhile starting to bring people in. But yeah, we might need a second terraformer. We'll see. Irene is empty. So we'll go, yep. So you'll notice that with Irene exhausted, the civilians have packed up and pissed off. So that's fine. Stuff in the Terma doesn't have duranium. Where else can we get duranium from? Sydney's an option. We do want to colonize Sydney A. Get those auto mines going. So we might do that. And Brisbane C has the 100% energy weapons. Wow. Okay. Oof, low gravity. Why? Why are you gonna do this to me? Okay, we're gonna have to do some genetic engineering to get some research population on here. Because 100% bonus to energy weapon technology is ridiculously powerful. We'll come back to that. Okay. So we have relatively limited duranium income at the moment, which is a problem. So Coma Solar, we're coming in. Mercury, we need to start mining because it has the 0.6 million or 0.8. So we have 100 auto mines. Supply and demand. And we have mass drivers, so that's fine. And we're just going to send this straight to Australia because Mars is getting the income from income through Coma Solar. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yep, that's fine. So Australia's going to get straight from Mercury. How's the industry doing? It'll do, I suppose. Okay. So, first thing we need to do is we need to figure out whether we're going missiles or guns. Now, depending on that will almost entirely depend on what the enemy ship speeds are. And to figure that out, we need to actually detect some. So, let's get in closer. And just turn that off. Okay, getting closer. Getting closer. 488. They should probably be able to spot us by now. Almost. Okay, now they should probably be able to see us. Let's do it hourly. We'll see what we can find. We've picked up the thermal signature as well. Thermal of 18, how does that compare to Australia? 27. Thermal is mostly in industry. So EM is primarily population, thermal is primarily industry. So the industry is most likely extraordinarily deficient to ours. Ooh, there we go. We got something. Alright, we got an active sensor reading. So they will most likely have spotted us by now. If that active sensor is on, they'll be on their way. Oh, they pinged us. They've turned it off now. Not sure what's happening there. There they go. They're on their way. 3,300 kilometers a second. Yeah, we could do that. If we remember. So yeah, so we have 7,600 tons of payload for a ship doing 6,000. That's almost twice their speed. So that is definitely something that we can do. So that is fine. Second survey fleet. I will get you to start moving back to the jump point. We're not going to do anything in here. We know what kind of speed we're dealing with. Let's start working on designing something. What the hell is this? Okay, that's nothing. Okay. So, let's figure out what we need. First things first, we need some engines. And we're going ion 1.45, 0.6, and size 50. Because we're doing 2 of those. Ion combat drive. Okay. We are going to need a beam fire control. Now, I don't think I'm going to be using turrets, at least for the time being. I do need some turrets so that we can do point defensing. Oh, that's horrible. We need better fire control. Cancel a maintenance module. Cancel a terraforming rate. Yeah, no, you're fine doing nothing there. Capacitor recharge rate, yes. We need tracking speed. Oh, that's in sensors and fire control. Okay, sensor fire control rating. Right, because I don't have any sensor day, do we? No, we don't. We're gonna have to. I'm just going to have to use the best guy that we've got outside of it. So, Patrick Daly, you have 55%. Get us something in range. I don't think we're going to need E-War just yet. But we need our active sensors. We need our active sensors. We probably should get this as well. How much are we pumping out? 2,600? Oh, that's terrible. We need a sensors and fire control scientist badly. Okay. It's fine, it's fine. Power propulsion. Finish off the capacitor recharge rate. And get me our 870 EP ion combat drive. That'll be fine for now. Once that's done, we're going to shift it into other technologies, but we're not ready for a fight just yet. Okay, they have a anti-missile system. Thermal signature in 1940, that's 3350, yeah. Let's see if they're going to come after us. So there's 4 of them now. We don't have the... Now, you can actually figure out their tonnage. Right, because if you have their speed and you have their thermals, you can figure out their tonnage. Because unless they have thermal reduction. If they have thermal shielding, it's out the window. But if they don't have thermal shielding, you can figure out their tonnage from their thermal and their speed. Because thermal is essentially their engine power without any thermal shielding. So let's see what happens to our survey fleet. Looks like they've turned back. They might have... No, I don't think they fired missiles. But yeah, no, they've turned back. So I think they're happy that we're not hostile. Speaking of hostilities... let's get ourselves a deploy team. This is essentially just to try and not have them shoot us on sight. Great team, there we go. Initiate communication with Marcus Ali, diplomatic team. And you can see that our military currently classes them as neutral. Now, this doesn't mean that they see us as neutral. We do have a -21 diplomatic score at the moment. So they could easily classify us as hostile before, while we still think they're neutral, right? So that's definitely a possibility. But they're not shooting at us straight up. They don't seem to be following us. So we are just going to avoid them for the time being. And they're not going to be able to see us all the way out to the jump point anyway. That's way too far. So let's switch to a day. Communication says... Oh, communication established. Oh no, not yet. No, yeah, established. The Braca Empire. Okay. Well, we have a diplomatic rating of -11, so hopefully that will actually go up, and then they won't shoot us on sight, and then we can successfully backstab them. Okay. Rating 200 at the moment, -10. Yeah, not too bad. Okay, how are we doing on research? Flight control rating is 2000. Working on it. Nobody worthwhile. 1,000 tons shipbuilding done. Stick another 1,000 on it. Army officer. Alright, capacity recharge for rate 4 is done. Good. Okay, 1,000 tons to Weissman Heavy. Add another 1,000. Capacity rate 4 is done. Good. So now we're doing the combat drive. I might. Okay, that's another 1,000 added. Add another 1,000 on top. Freight is launched on. Okay. Okay, 12 mining complex is done. Now, there is a trick. If you're open to doing teleporting teams, there is a small trick you can do to get espionage going, right? What you can do is you can go and create a colony on their planet and then just immediately create a team on that colony. And that way you can do your espionage without having to do anything like that, without having to land on their planet directly, because the second you arrive on top of their planet, they basically immediately go to war with you. They're they're very picky like that. Diplomacy up, come on, give us a sensor scientist. Lieutenant Commander, come on, give us a sensor scientist. Alpha shields are almost done. We're not going to be using shields anytime soon because alphas are like pathetically worthless. The laser focal size is almost done, which is grand. We've got a lab. Fire control. Inefficient, but I want to get that done. Construction brigade done. Good. The biggest problem, of course, is that since we are leaving them alone, they will be essentially going out and exploring and discovering systems, which is a problem. Should be modified. We're just going to get all of them up to 20. It's expensive, but 20 is a nice size for your shipyards, especially early on. Okay, our 15 centimeter laser should be almost done. New jump point found in Brisbane. Okay, that's fine. Alright, there's 15 centimeter laser done. Going for near ultraviolet now. How much uranium do we have? Stockpile is 50-40. Alright, we are losing a significant amount of uranium out of Earth. Do we have any... Okay, I think our order mines have been actually moved to Mercury already. I wish I would not open the system view on clicking this. Alright, we've got 100 order mines. How much is in mining? 1800 uranium a year. It's not too bad. It would be nice if we had more. We're also getting 900 thorium a year, and that's coming straight too. So, but it's still not quite enough. I think it's the shipyards primarily that are eating it, but also with all the construction factories that we are making, as well as the standard mines, and well, basically everything that we're making. Got a Lieutenant Commander. No. Okay, we're just going to stick with the shipyards we have at the moment because we don't have the uranium to be expanding things. Alright, we've got another quokka done. Actually, let's go have a quick look at the quokka real quick. So he uses a 540 EP nuclear pulse, which is size 42. With better armor and the combat and ion engine, we can probably get this thing up to a pretty reasonable speed. We might be able to just refit the quokka into a reasonable design. Let's see. So, we'll up the armor. That shaves 300 tons. And drop the... Let's compare the engines real quick. Oh, we don't actually have the new engine yet. Okay, we'll come back to that. I want one more. That's our fourth, I believe. So 5 quokkas should be enough for basic system defense. Alright, alpha shields are done. Let's put some into... 2 into Gauss, 2 into engines, and 1 more into fire control rating. We may actually end up using the quokka as a design for our gunship. Because like option 1 is that we make the 1400 kiloton twin engine gunship, but we could at the same time use a single engine much smaller ship, which will also end up being cheaper, but of course would end up being a little bit more vulnerable. We are still consuming 160. Yeah, we're still consuming a lot of uranium, and we are running it very low. Is there a way we can see what's actually using it? I don't think there is. Oh, that's reserve level. Keep that at 1 million. We might cut this down. The construction factories we're running, that'll doesn't really do much for the usage. We don't have very many mines left to go, so that's fine. Research labs are rather expensive because they need 1,200 each, but that's only like 2,400, and the rest of them are relatively cheap. So it's fine for now. Alright, that has cut the projected usage down to 2,200. This one's fine. We will... Ugh, that's expensive. I need an extra slipway on this. There's no way around it. I need the extra slipway. It'll be relatively slow anyway. Alright, combat drive is almost done, so is fire control speed rating. Alright, there's the combat drive. Wait, did I? Okay, that is not really 1, it's a 5%. I don't know why it says 1. Oh no, it's 15. Okay, it's just lost the 5. Okay, let's go back to our redesigned quacker. And we'll strip out the nuclear pulse engine. So 5,300 kilometers a second, 5,100 up to 8,500. So that's not too bad. Okay, so we got that. Deployment time I'm going to raise to 12 months because I like that deployment level for combat ships. Gives them plenty of time, opportunity to run around and do stuff while also being it gives them plenty of deployment time. So composite armor, new engine, sensor is basically what we're stuck with. Same with the fire control, at least for the time being. The railguns, I want a 4th layer of armor. I think we might actually do this as a second quacker. 15 centimeter visible light laser, deals 6 damage. What about current railgun? 15 centimeter launch 2. So it's a significant improvement over the current railgun that it's using. So it's 20,000 kilometers compared to 60. So it's got 3 times the range. It's got it'll have the same hull size, I reckon. 15-second fire rate, so it's got half the fire rate, 3 times the range, and it'll be dealing 3 damage instead of 2. So this is a significant improvement of railgun. This is definitely a much nicer railgun. So we're just gonna create that real quick. And are we doing any research on lasers right now? Okay, near ultraviolet. So we're not gonna design a laser until that's done. But we have 9 techs right now, so 9 labs right now, so 2 more into Gauss. I want to finish up that near ultraviolet laser real quick and then put the rest into speed rating because we need those improved sensors so we can actually make a decent ship. I do actually want that railgun as well, so cue that to the top. Put those back in. So speed rating will be done this turn. Gas should be done. Well, gas should speed rating. Gas will speed rating should. But we have that combat engine. Good, they're both done. So we have gas rate of fire 3 and speed rating 2000, which is grand. Railgun shouldn't take too long. Beam fire control range. We want, so it needs speed rating, we need to up that as well. Why do we not have a sensors guy? We really should have got a sensors guy ages ago. We need one ASAP. Oh well. Should get another research lab soon. But we can design a Gauss gun now. Gas cannon. Oh, we don't have any fast velocity tech. Okay, we'll get that next. We'll get our laser. Well, we'll get our railgun. Another research lab. 15. Good. Alright, that's almost done, and we almost have the better railgun for the quacker. Good, done. Okay. So we're gonna remove the 3 12 centimeters. and replace them. So yeah, so the 15 centimeters are a little bit bigger. They're also significantly more expensive, but that's okay. What I might do is I might set them for quadruple railguns, and then, oof, how much power do we need? 4, 8, 12, 16. Okay, that'll do. Would be better to get more efficient reactors, but actually, power plants, gas cooled fast. Yeah, so we do want gas cooled fast. They use 4 each, so 4.05. That will do. Hang on. Gas cooled 4.05 P reactor. Because I hate the naming, the auto naming for the yeah, I hate it. It's stupid. It's stupid. It doesn't tell you anything about the reactor at all except what type it is. Nothing at all. Okay. Shave some of you. Because it's basically almost no research points at all required. So not you. Gas cannon velocity 1 will be is almost done. Let's put another 1,000 tons. Oh, no, we're doing a slipway. Never mind. Alright, that's the reactor done. Let's get that neo-ultraviolet out fast. So we're going to swap these 6 pebble beds. Which were size 1 for a almost slightly smaller, and only 4 of those. So we have less tonnage of actual power plants, and this is actually not a bad ship. This is not a bad ship at all. We have enough MSP to repair stuff. It's still relatively small, so it's going to be relatively cheap. We can probably afford 6 layers of... Yeah, 7 layers of armor. So it's still significantly faster than what we have seen the enemies doing. We have pretty good armoring. We have 2 layers of maintenance life, and we could probably go for... No, we'll leave it at 12 for the time being. We don't need as huge amounts of crew. Our range is 13 billion, which is not too shabby at all. There we go, 17 billion. 7,000 tons. We got a tiny little sensor. We don't have a main sensor, but it'll do the job for anything that we go up against. The fire control range is... We are going to need a better fire control, but we don't have the tech for it just yet. So, last thing we need to do is get the fire control, and then we'll be golden to start pumping those out. We're doing reduced size launchers, so we're going to cut that down to 4. Bump that to 15. Bump that to 12. We do have the 20 centimeter railgun queued, but we have a whole bunch of missile and kinetic stuff first. So we can actually design our Gauss cannon now. So it's only good for point defense. And I do prefer the 5 hull size over the 6. Because, well, I mean... So basically with crew grade, with maximum crew grade, this penalty is almost completely neutralized. right? So even this one wouldn't be too bad, but with the low speeds that we're dealing with in terms of ship speeds, I want the higher tracking, I want the higher base hit rate. The 3 shots per 5 is not spectacular, and that is going to be a problem. I mean, as it stands, the railguns are probably going to be just as, if not more effective than these Gauss guns anyway, because they're doing 4 shots, except these are doing it 5 seconds compared to 15. So these will be more effective against multiple rapid waves, but against single wave, the railguns probably would be more effective than the Gauss guns, unless the missiles come in really, really fast. I mean, you can put these on a turret, right, and give it like 15,000 tracking speed, and then if a missile comes in that's doing 15,000, our ships are going to have like 40% reduction to hit rate anyway. So yeah, okay. Gauss, yes please. We'll take away those and give it to you because there's like almost no RP required to get the Gauss cannon done. Got a biologist. Damn it, come on, give me a sensors guy. We do have the ultraviolet laser coming done soon, which isn't going to do us too well if we can't get a fire control that can shoot that far. Okay, our mine is done. We are now working on the military academy. Let's bump up this to 10. We're going to bump the fuel refinery up to 15. Okay, get those refineries out. How are we doing? 20,000 left. We are projected to run out. So we are going to run out of uranium pretty much any minute now. Hopefully our production will fall off as things get done. Construction, research rate. Where is mining rate? Mining rate is next. Okay. So once the research rate is done, we'll have mining rate, but that's still over a year away. It's fine. It's fine. We are going to run out of uranium, but we are making more. Gas cannon is almost done. Done. There we go. Let's go for turret design. Okay, so turret design. The two things to keep in mind are the tracking speed and the fire control speed rating. Now, the only weapons that can be turreted are Gauss cannons, lasers, and mesons. And that's about it. And pretty much everything else is hull mounted. I don't think particles can be turreted. I'm pretty sure they can't be. So yeah, it's just those three. Gauss, laser, meson. So you have a couple of options. So you pick the weapon you want. I don't know why that tooltip is completely wrong. Ignore that. And you can pick single, twin, triple, or quad. You also pick your tracking speed. Now, with a turret, you can do any kind of tracking speed you want. So default is 10,000, but you can do 100,000 tracking speed right out the bat, right? No problems with that. The problem is that you only get 3,000. So as your turret tracking speed tech goes up, so 3,000 kilometers a second tracking speed requires 10% gear. If we want to go double that, then 20% of our gun mass needs to be gearing. You can see that at 3,000 per 10%, for 100,000 tracking speed, which we can do, we have 333% of our actual gun mass as just gearing, right? And this is functionally wasted tonnage, right? it's not really, because you do get something out of it, you get the tracking speed, but functionally it's wasted tonnage. So you can see that a single Gauss cannon, it's a size of 5, but then the entire turret is 21, right? So only less than a quarter of our turret is actual gun, right? Now that ratio will remain the same no matter how many guns you put into it. So you can see that, well, almost, not quite, almost. You can see that a quad is 20% gun, but only 300% of the rotation of the gearing is actually required. So you do get savings in gearing percentage by having multiple guns on the same turret. So a lot of the time it is beneficial to have more guns per turret. You do, of course, lose out on the fact that it is vulnerable and the entire turret aims as one. So for point defense, it's not necessarily efficient to have quads, especially for large Gauss guns, because if you have multiple salvos coming in, then that one turret has to fire on the entire salvo alone. It can't split its fire across salvos. I'm thinking I might go for triple turrets, or maybe twin or triple. Those are so very large. So very, 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 very large. I'm not sure. Wait, are we still on 100? Bloody hell, we're still on 100. Okay. I just want a nice 12,000, maybe. Or, no, make it a nice 14,000. So, 14, that's not too bad. Just under half of our turret is actual gear, which gives us 14.43, which is workable. And what's SPW? Oh, shots per weight. So this shows you how many shots per... is that right? I'm not actually sure. One thing to keep in mind, do not use armoring, because you'll notice that one armor thickness, which gives you 2 hit to kill, adds... well, it's supposed to add 3.58, but apparently there's some kind of bug which gives it, which makes it way, way, way more armor than it should. So don't bother armoring your turrets until C#. Is 14 going to be enough? Because at the moment we can only do 8,000 tracking speed, right? That's barely above our ship speed. So right now, gas turrets are not going to be actually useful. So might as well stick with the railguns that we have. So we're not going to make a turret right now because our gearing speed is not good enough. But we will come back to this soon. Very, very soon. Okay. Speaking of which, where is turret gearing? Do we have turret gearing in the queue? We do. Okay, we do have turret gearing in the queue. Folkvor is doing it. This guy. Just an energy weapon tech. Okay, near ultraviolet laser is done. We have 5 labs. Let's put 3 more into beam fire control range because we need to get those out. Actually, yeah, just go for broke. And you can see how much the specialization bonus count really, really matters. So Patrick Daly has a higher bonus than Folkvor, but he has almost twice the labs and is still not producing as many RP. So the only reason I'm using Patrick at all is because our hand is forced. We need that tracking speed. We need those better sensors. It's absolutely mandatory. If we go to war, we are screwed unless we have those. So we absolutely need them, but we need somebody to do that research. So, yeah, Patrick's the one who has to do it. Okay, ultraviolet laser is done. We're doing spinal mounts now. We don't need as much into there. I might actually put 2 more labs onto Luke to try and get that out within the year. Fire control range of 16,000 is done in a couple of weeks. Yep, okay, there's that uranium shortage. Ugh. Let's try and get that research lab out soon. Alright, there's fire control range is done. Q top. Okay, rating 3000. Take about a third of a year, maybe half, out in April 42. Not too shabby. So we're producing 3400. We are getting stuff in from Mercury. 25 a week, looks like. So we do have uranium, it's just not enough. So we have shortages, but we're not. Research lab's almost done, which will help alleviate how much we're using. Alright, there's a construction lab done. Put you on there just to try and get that out sooner, because that will help a lot, boosting the research rate by another 40 points per lab. How are we doing? 17,698. So we're getting about 90 a week. So this shortage is going to last a while, but it's not going to last forever. Luna doesn't have any. Mars doesn't have any. Mercury has some, but it's only auto mines that are able to do it. How are we doing? Okay, can we get? Where are our auto miners? They are on Rainmouth. What's Rainmouth digging at the moment? Macassium. Irene, I will get a geologic team to do their check. Yep, we'll rig up a geology team. Great, okay. Hopefully we might get some uranium out of it. Borelli has nothing. Is there anything in Sol that actually has uranium? We could go and dig up Euphrosyne. 14,000, so where is it? What is it? it a comet or is it a... Okay, I don't know where it is. It's somewhere. Hollywood, you go. You're frozen. Half a billion kilometers. Yeah, okay. So it's not very far. There. But what is it? It's in the asteroid belt. Could be an asteroid. Wish there was a search function. I think there... I feel like there should be, but... Minerals only. That'll help. Frozen. There it is. Okay, it is an asteroid. It is an asteroid. Alright. Perfect. That will do. Asteroid miners, head to Euphrosyne. Cargo. Go to Rainmouth. Load mass driver. Unload at Euphrosyne. Is it just the one at Rainmouth or is it two? Two. That's fine. And Collingwood, you can head to First Soul Guard and join them. Not sure why this one is hiding Euphrosyne. Because, like, there is a colony there. So, I don't know why it's hiding. Alright, slipway added to Jordan Walters' designs. Good. That's for the quokka. Yep, that's fine. So 17,000 usage. Alright, we have another quokka out. So that is great. Alright, so that is our 5 quokkas. And that is just fine for the time being. We still have a shortage, but the important thing is, right, that while it is a shortage, it's not a crunch. Duranium crunches are extraordinarily difficult to pull off. They're possible, but difficult. If you can somehow pull it off, congratulations to you, you basically screwed your entire game. But they are possible. Difficult, but possible. Now, Sydney was the one that has the massive gravity, so that one's worthless to us. Was it Melbourne that had... Okay, Melbourne is... Hang on, let's go have a look at the map. Canberra, Sydney, Adelaide. So Canberra has a terrestrial with 2 million uranium. I think this is where we're going to be moving our mines from Australia. Okay, Canberra, and what was the other one? Adelaide. Is Adelaide the one that's basically worthless? No, Adelaide's a big one. Oh, we haven't even done a geo survey? Huh. Okay. Where's the surveyors fleet? What are they doing? Jump point survey. Haven't done almost. Not quite there yet. Okay, that's fine. Frozen, do we have the mines in orbit yet? No, not yet. They're more than halfway there. It's fine. Alright, Irene, geosurvey is done. Did we get anything? Nah, nothing. Ah, well. Disband. Okay. Frosny has the things it needs. So set up slinging to... Yeah, set up slinging through there. Mars has its stockpile. I'm pretty sure that is coming in, but that's fine. As soon as the miners get there, we'll start seeing mineral packets heading out. There we go. How are we doing, by the way? 54. We're doing alright. Okay. So, Frosny, we are pumping out 3,000 per year, which is awesome. We're pumping out 1,800 out of Mercury, which is amazing. And our stockpile, is it actually going to be start growing or no? Not yet. But it looks like we do have a few less shortages going on at the moment. Okay. We're going to have to start pumping out auto mines. It's going to suck, but I'm going to need them. Okay, construction factories. I want to get those done soonish. I might cull 200 of those. We're going to need those fuel refineries, so they're not really an option. Let's cull the deep space trackings, at least until we have our uranium back under control. How are we doing? We'll cut another 7,000 demand out. And that's not too bad. We've only got the one slipway being built. We've got 8,000 on Sol. So you can see that Australia production is only 3,200 a year, so yeah. Oh wait, are we doing surveys of Perth? What the hell? God damn it, guys. I needed you to bloody watch the jump point. fuck's sake. Alright. Fire control speed rating is done. Do active grav, because might as well. Because they're going to need that, and they're relatively cheap. Beam fire control range is fine. Dragon speed 3000 is not too shabby. What can we get out of it right now? 4 times speed is 12,000. That's doable against missiles. That could work against missiles. And that will be enough for the Quokka 2. 64,000. That will be all the range we need for our railguns with 50% base chance to hit. That's pretty good. I think we can work with this. I would like to be able to drop the range to 3. So I think as soon as the 24,000 Ks is done, we'll put our fire control on it. And then that will give us what we need to get our enhanced quokkas, which I'm going to rename, get those out. So that's September. So by the end of the year, we should have those operational. We might even have a laser version as well for a bit more of a heavy hit for penetration. Ooh, we have a sensors guy. Oh, it is 0. Oh god. Oh, okay. We need to give him something to work on. Let's give him... Actually, we need to train him. Intensive training, get you up to speed. We only need him to get up to about 20%, maybe 15, and then he'll outpace Patrick. So he doesn't need too much training, but he just needs something to get him above 0. Because 0 is crap. And he needs better than that. Alright, spinal mount's almost done. There we go, that's spinal mount. Tracking speed gear. That will give us the decent turrets we need so that we can get point defenses. We are not doing too shabby. I'll tell you that. Not too shabby at all. Could be better, but could also be a lot worse. I think we're about out of time as well, so we might put a break in the episode here. Oh yeah, we're definitely out of time. I'll put a break in the episode here. Next episode, we should complete the beam fire control range and the tracking gear. Oh, Deep Space Tracking Station is complete. Excellent. Finish off these ordnance factories. And hopefully we should get our Duranium under control. Because once everything else is done and we're just making mines, we can move those across to Mercury, and keep pumping out that lovely, lovely Duranium. I also want to get... Was it Adelaide? I also want to get Adelaide surveyed. Our surveyor over in Brisbane will be doing that job. So Wills will be doing that job once it's done with surveying Brisbane. Let's have a look at it. Yep, friggin' see what I mean? See what I mean? They built a jump point on Melbourne now. And I bet they're faffing around in here, doing their own thing, completely without any... Okay, we need to get ahead of this. We need to get ahead of this. Where the hell is... There you are. Camel. Go to the Melbourne jump point. And once you're there, we might have to move First Soul Guard out and get them to make sure that we have Soul defended. So, second survey fleet, transit through, and move to Sol. Do not do any fucking surveys. And yeah, because I do not want to build a jump gate on Sol. If they build a jump gate on Sol, we are potentially screwed, because you can't really defend a jump gate. You can't really defend properly against an incursion through a jump gate, because I'm 99% positive that when entering through a jump gate, you have no shock. Jump shock. So, yeah. Anyway, we are over time. So, I'll put a cut here. And next episode, we are going to be working on getting that uranium sorting out. We're going to be getting the enhanced quokka fully designed. And we'll potentially get into some fights. But we'll see. So, thanks for watching. And I will see you then.